Okay, let's take a break from MIDI and take a look at one of the most important objects in Max, hands down. Filter and Filtergraph. I'm going to start off with a noise signal. I'm just going to use white noise here. Move that up. That is going to go to a gain object, and that is going to eventually go to an easy DAC. Pretty boring. Take that all the way down here. Coming out of the gain, I'm also going to hook up scope and a spectro, if I can spell it, spectroscope, that will allow us to see what's going on with this filter. I'll create a sonogram, attribute user interface. We're going to set that to the sonogram, and then really quickly I'm going to set that in the inspector. Color mode is going to be in color. Okay. Now I'm going to take the output of gain and connect it up like that so that we can see everything that's going on. Here is what noise looks like. Great. Let's filter that noise. I'm going to insert an object here called Biquad and use that to filter the noise. Unfortunately, Biquad is not exactly user-friendly. It's a filter, and if you take a look at here, you can see it's a 2-pole, 2-0 filter that implements the following equation, blah, 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 blah. You can specify the coefficients A0, 1, 2, B, 1, and 2 as signals or floats. Dear God, I don't know what that means. There's got to be a better way. And there is. I'm going to create Filtergraph. Filtergraph is a lifeline. You take the output of that and you connect it to Biquad. Left to left. I'm going to right click on here to create an attribute user interface, and specifically what I want is the filter mode. I believe they call it edit mode. Where are you? There we go. And take that out. Now I'm going to lock the patch and I'm going to turn her on. You don't hear anything different yet. That's because I'm going to change the edit mode. Now things are going to get different. What Filtergraph does is very simply, it creates a graphical set of instructions for the filter cutoff, resonance, NQ, and gain settings, and sends the resulting coefficients to Biquad. This means that you've got a graphical object that significantly makes this easier to work with. With the attribute user interface, you can choose between the different filter types. So low pass, high pass, band, and this is a good time to point out that I can grab the different parts of this to adjust the Q, get a really narrow band, or widen it and get a really fat band. Band stop is also pretty useful. There's peak notch. That is really useful for just sweeping a single peak. And there's some others as well, shelves. And then there's a resonant filter. Which is hard to detect with a noise signal, but with some signals it's going to be easier to hear. And then, of course, there is the all pass, which is going to affect the phase relationship. And there's zero mode, which is display, which means, hey, I can't actually move anything anymore. It effectively turns it off. So let's have a little fun with this. One of the things that I've always liked to do is to filter a noise signal and have some fun with that. So we're going to do that. MIDI in to MIDI parse. And connect it up. Then I'm going to unpack the pitch and velocity. Now, frankly, I do not care about the velocity right now, but I do want the pitch. So what do I connect that up to? That's a good question. Well, if I take a look at these inlets, it tells me coefficient, filter cutoff. Hello. Let's connect that up. What's the next one, I wonder? The gain. What about this guy? Oh, that's the resonance or Q factor. Oh, well, if I want to, I could have some fun with this. Let's make this velocity sensitive. So now I'm going to take the gain, and the gain is going to be in the range of, I believe it's 0 to 24 decibels, but I could be wrong. Let's give it, I think it's a negative 24 to 24. Let's just do 0 to 24. So I'm going to use scale 0, 127, 0, 0.24 point, and connect it up. And connect that resulting to the gain. And because it's a control change that's on my keyboard, since I'm using the Stencil Morph, I'm going to take the control change out. I'm going to use a route object to only get things that are coming out of CC74. And we can test that real quick. MIDI in, Stencil Morph. Yep, that is, oh, that was a little loud. Maybe the volume is a little bit excessive on that. Let's try, you know what? I'm just going to give it a F for that. Okay, let's do 0. How about if I go below 0? Yeah, let's do 0 to 12. That might be better. Gotta love that undo key. Oh, and let's put a... There we go. Now, one thing I can do here that would be really fun is we've got this control value here. Let's connect that to the Q factor, or we could connect that to the gain. You know what? I think that might be better for the gain. Let's not mess with the Q. So we'll do it that way. And then for the gain, I'm just going to do... There we go. So that's hooked up to the gain. And then I will manually control the Q because that can get a little bit dicey if your resonance gets excessive. All right, so now this is set. That's fun. If I further make the Q a little bit more excessive, or better yet, change it into a band pass. Let's hear that. It's fun. Kind of like a kid in a candy store here, except I'm playing with filters.